Good afternoon. I'm Simon Spalter, and this afternoon I've got Andy Catchpole from TennisPoint with me. Good afternoon, Andy.
Afternoon, Simon. How are you doing?
All good. Thanks for joining us. So Andy is here today to tell us all about the new sponsorship program that he's just signed with the LTA. So very exciting to have done that. Tell me something about yourself. How did you get into TennisPoint? And then we can move on to the sponsorship deal.
No problem at all. So I joined TennisPoint about 2 years ago. I've been in the tennis retail industry for longer than I care to remember. It's about 36 years since I started working in the Midlands in a sports shop, and then became a tennis coach, and then worked for one of the racket brands, Head, for about 18 years here in the UK. And then 2 years ago started up as country manager and director of TennisPoint in the UK. That's how I got into it.
Okay, and tell me a bit about TennisPoint as well.
So TennisPoint is our interesting strapline. We're the world's largest online seller of tennis equipment. So we were number one in Europe, and then about 18 months ago, through a couple of acquisitions, we took over number 2 and number 5, I think it was, in the US, which drew us over the line of being the world's largest, which is a nice little title to have. But TennisPoint's about 20 years old as a company, founded by the current CEO, Christian Miller, who started work as a tennis coach, and he went from club to club, stringing rackets, selling products, then to doing it in his garage, to then having numerous shops, to then going online and then growing things from there. So it's a proper, let's say, tennis embedded community from top to bottom as a company.
And it's online, but I believe you've got some shops. Any plans for more shops?
Yeah, so we've got, in and around Europe, we've got about 37 shops. So some are pro shops, some are franchisees. We have flagship stores in Barcelona, just off La Ramblas, and in Paris, just off Champs-Élysées. So some big flagship stores. We still have a plan to have a flagship store in London. It's still our goal. It's just waiting for the market to stabilize a little bit, but that's my next job after signing the LTA. So it's now on the hunt for retail premises in London. Okay,
and if I or anybody else wants anything tennis, you're the go-to place. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, our USP pretty much is our assortment. So you think of any brand in tennis, realistically, there's always going to be something we don't do, but the vast majority of the brand, we deal with all the key brands. You know, we deal with all the fashion brands. We're doing apparel, Nike, Adi, Lacoste. And then obviously we're a key partner for all the racket brands, as in Dunlop, Head, Wilson, Babolat, Yonex, Technifiber. You know, the list goes on, but we're dealing with all those guys, and we pretty much do everything to tennis. Some aspects we don't do, but the vast majority, our assortment is enormous. It's our big selling point, I guess.
Right. And the LTA is big into paddle now, having taken it under its wing.
Yeah, and paddles are sort of second sport behind tennis. So it's a massive area of growth for us around Europe, and obviously the UK is growing into paddle very quickly in the last sort of 6-12 months, I think, more than before. But it's definitely an area that we're interested in, and that's part of our agreement with the LTA is to assist in the paddle area as well. So that's definitely the sort of the focus, as well as tennis for the UK for us and the rest of Europe. Is paddle equipment as well.
Okay, so tell me about the sponsorship deal that you've just signed with the LTA.
Yeah, so it's been a while in the making. So I joined a couple of years ago, and one of the first jobs we wanted to do was have a conversation with the LTA. Is there obviously the main touch point for all things tennis, for coaches, venues, facilities, players, you know, spectators. Everyone has a touch point with the LTA. So it was something we were interested in doing. A lot of negotiation and discussion, obviously, but the LTA had never had a joined up online offline retail partner. They'd had separate, so one online and 3 or 4 different offline, and the idea was to give them a whole package, so that we would look after the online aspect and we would also look after the offline. So in terms of the online, it was really providing members, coaches, clubs and facilities, which are the 3 main pillars of the audience for us at the LTA, with interesting offers through TennisPoint, not just on discount, but variety of product, linking with the LTA's partner brands, which at this moment in time is obviously Dunlop, AMC, Castor and Adidas. and then to obviously offline to try and create some physical retail. So for those who've seen us, I was the last 3.5 weeks where we met on Nottingham. I was at Nottingham we had a store there, pop-up store for a week, and then we were at the same time then at Edgbaston for a week, and then crossing over to Eastbourne for a week. So a lot of time on the road, but really, really nice to see so many people from the tennis community, and quite a number of people already shopped with us and heard of us, and it was quite nice to do that as our initial sort of pop-up. I think our first before that, we'd done the Labour Cup with Head last year, which was obviously an incredible event. So we've now done 4 pop-up events in the last 12 months, which is been great.
Okay, so it gets the name out there and connects you with the general public and everybody in tennis.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do, obviously, for those that are online and shopping, they'll have seen us probably, whether it's through Eurosport, through advertising at Roland Garros and the other Grand Slams that we've advertised in through Eurosport, but also we're obviously heavily into the web sales, so you've seen us through Google Shopping and all those sort of areas where we invest in as a business. But yeah, it's still a lot of people don't know who we are, so it's trying to get that out there. Hence the deal with the LTA to try and make people aware of who we are and try and give something back a little bit. So some money, obviously, support to British tennis through the LTA, but also offering and trying to save some consumers some money as well.
Okay, and obviously there's a sum of money which I assume you're giving to the LTA as part of this sponsorship. Is that with any strings attached? Have you suggested that you'd like them to spend money in particular areas, or is it down to them to decide how they want to do it?
I mean, there's certain areas we focus on that we sort of try and speak to them about the areas that we're interested in. At the end of the day, as we all know, they're a large organisation who funds a lot of activities and projects throughout the UK. It's not necessarily our place to tell them exactly where to spend the money, I guess, but they know the key areas that we like to focus on, which is obviously participation is a big one for us, is to get more people playing tennis.
Yes.
We are a company that sells a lot of performance products, so obviously we do focus on the performance end of the players. But realistically, I think it's just generally supporting British tennis. We're also keen to try and do a little bit more with clubs and facilities, which I think has not always been looked after as let's say, from a joined up retail approach. I think it's always been left to the side. The members have had some benefits, coaches have had some benefits, but we wanted to make sure there was something there for clubs and facilities. So we're dealing with the LTA in all 3 of those areas, trying to help them, grow those areas and look after them and give more support to those areas. Okay,
what's your view, just a general question with reference to kind of grassroots tennis, the number of volunteers in there who are running clubs, the venues, the coaches, the officials, they're all part of British tennis. What's your take on all of that? Because there's the LTA and then there are thousands of other people who are contributing, in my view. Where do you sit with all this?
Well, as a tennis volunteer myself, sitting on a committee of a small little tennis club in my village, I'm part of that community. So, and also having been a coach for a period of time, and I've been a club member of a tennis club since I was 12 years old, and I'm now over 50. So I've lived and breathed that community for a long period of time. It's crucial because the LTA does a lot, but the volunteers are the ones that make it work. Without the volunteers, you don't have a tennis community. You don't have tennis. I think they're a fundamental part of the tennis. And what makes tennis, what makes me still want to play tennis at 50 years old is the people. It's the sport, yes, but it's the people I get to play with, people I get to play against, the people I can help make a difference with on the committee, the juniors. Both my kids are playing tennis. My wife is now addicted to tennis since COVID. She's an ex-badminton player. I'm the tennis widow now, who doesn't get to play as much as them. But I've been playing paddle for a number of years, sort of on and off, not as seriously as tennis. I'm still more of a social paddle player. But it's those people, the volunteers, the people that work in tennis, the coaches, that are the fundamental part. We wanted to make sure we had something that will be offered everywhere, so we could do something to help. We can't do everything, but if we can help make a little bit of difference by helping someone get a bit happy with a product, or save a bit of money somewhere, or help a facility with a a certain type of product, not always just giving them something where they can save money, but whether they find a product that's more appropriate for what they're doing. But
amazing.
That's hopefully how we can help. But
okay, so you've told me about the sponsorship. You've told me about everything about TennisPoint now. I know there's something that you've got which is going to help everybody to be able to enjoy being members of the LTA even more. You've got an offer for us today, haven't you? And one which the LTA is going to be able to offer on your behalf going forward. Tell me a bit about it.
Correct. So with the LTA, we have arranged a variety of discount codes for the three different pillars. So members being the first pillar, which is obviously the largest, coaches, and then the third pillar being clubs and venues. So at the moment, the one that's finalized, that's gone live, is the membership discount code. So if people log in now to their membership on the LTA site and then have a look into their My Benefits section, they will now see hosted on there, there's 13 benefits, but the ones we have a link through, if you click on the Dunlop one, so at the moment there's a discount code there, which you just click copy, click on the link to Shop Dunlop, it takes you to our LTA landing page on our .co.uk website, and then you purchase the Dunlop product, and you'll get, at the moment, the Dunlop is at 7.5% off rackets, balls, bags, and accessories through that shop. Then we have the same or a similar offer with the other two partners. So with AMC, we have a 20% discount on their apparel that we stock, and then the same on Adidas on the footwear. We have 5% off the Adidas footwear. So those codes are live now. I'm just actually looking at my membership area, so they're definitely on there. It's a slightly higher discount for the Advantage Plus members. So we wanted to work with the LTA, and obviously they're always keen, obviously, to push the Plus membership where you get more for your money. So that's the idea. It'll be the same idea with the coaches area. So there'll be a base level of discount across products, and then when you're part of the accredited Plus program, then you get a higher level of discount. And then the next thing we need to go live with is an offer on mainly probably tennis balls and tennis equipment, let's say, for clubs and facilities, which is, we're just trying to find with the LTA the perfect vehicle for getting that information out there. So that's a little bit, the coaches and the clubs and venues are a little bit of watch this space, but the My Benefits in people's members area is live now. So people can make benefits of those codes straight away. I think they went live a day or two ago. So I've been on the road, so I haven't checked until this morning, and then they're now on there, which is great to see.
Lovely. And that's great, because we all love an offer, and I know your site is competitive anyway, so an offer off a competitive site is even better. So thanks for that, and I'm sure everybody will have a good look at that and start using it and keep an eye on it for any additional offers as well. And thanks for bringing that to us. So thank you very much, Andy. I wish your entire sponsorship great luck, and I hope it goes well with the LTA. Now you've got it up and running, and may I wish your company success now and into the future, and you individually. And thanks for joining us today. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Simon.